comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up guys, it's DK Wrestler here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 pops that Funko desperately needed to remake. But before that happens, make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways guys, let's check it out. So like I said in today's video, I am going to be talking about pops that Funko first made and then desperately needed a remake later on. Which I know there are a ton of Funko Pops, especially when you look at Funko Pops that were first made when Funko Pops were first started in the early 2010s, and then looking at the remakes now and being so much better as terms to the details. So the first pop that I'm going to be discussing about for this video is the Alien from Toy Story, which was just not the greatest looking pop, even looking at the photo on my phone right now. I believe this pop was released, I want to say 2012, 2013, because of the fact that it's number 33 in the Disney lineup, and that would have been like wave 3 or 4 at the time of the Disney lineup. The design is a little meh, especially because the color of the outfit is basically all of the same color. It's that same dark blue and not a couple shadings of blue like it should be. The arms are just to the side, and the way they made the mouth just looks very awkward, and especially the way they did the eyes here too for Alien's eyes. I think the only thing good about this Funko Pop is essentially that there was one without a stand, and then there's one with the stand that has the Toy Story logo. So if you had the one with the Toy Story logo stand, then I think that would be kind of the highlight of the pop. But for the longest time, especially when I started collecting Funko Pops, this was the only Alien, and I guess also that metallic Alien that is pretty much the most fake produced pop ever, until they finally remade the pop in 2019 for the Toy Story 4 lineup, and this pop had so much improvements. Alien has a pose where the one arm is down and he's waving with the other. They remade the mouth to look a little bit better. It's not a drawn on mouth. They kind of did the molding to where they only had a little bit of the mouth open. You got a little bit of black there. The head is a little bit more like a Funko Pop head rather than the other one being more rectangular, and the outfit is 3 shadings of different colors. You got purple around the neck, you have the light blue, and then for the boots and the belt it is a dark blue, and that's how the Alien outfit should be. So this was a huge leaps and bounds improvement on Funko remaking a Funko Pop from what it used to look like. The next pop I'm going to be discussing about is Andre the Giant for the WWE lineup. Now you're probably thinking, what's really wrong with this pop? Which, I mean, I get where you're getting at, because there isn't really anything bad except one major thing, and it was a huge complaint as terms to WWE fans for Funko Pops, is the fact of why is this pop not a 6-inch figure? Andre the Giant was over 7 feet tall, and to make the figure look like essentially a 4-inch figure and be the same height as, let's say, guys like Daniel Bryan, who are only 5'8", it just did not make sense. The posing is a little meh. I mean, he's got his arms out like he's trying to scare you, but at the same time, he didn't really do any kind of posing like that realistically. The hair is okay, and the outfit is spot on. But then finally, in 2020, Funko remade the pop for the WWE lineup and made it a 6-inch figure, which is what people wanted. Now people can have the Andre the Giant pop beside a Hulk Hogan pop and make a cool little photo kind of recreating WrestleMania 3, and the size comparison makes more sense than the original Andre the Giant pop. And they did improve the hair a little bit by adding more curls to it. You got the kind of sideburns there a little bit more puffier than the original one, and he's doing a pose where he just has his fists out, which I think was just perfect. You didn't have to have the scary arm pose like this. Just having him with his one fist out just made perfect sense for this pop. Next up is for the Disney lineup, which is of Goofy. Now, when you look at the original pop of Goofy, it just looks very awkward. His arms are to the side, his hands are sticking out, like even his fingers are kind of sticking out too. The eyes just look very awkward in how they are white and they are partially closed. I understand why they did the white eyes, is because the majority of Goofy's head is black. So to have black eyes with the black head there just wouldn't have looked all that great. but at the same time, it looks like Goofy is a little possessed at the moment and just looked very, very awkward. But then obviously, Funko actually redeemed themselves like 7 times over when it came to Goofy, because especially when they made pops for the Kingdom Hearts lineup of Goofy, they made the Three Musketeers Goofy for New York Comic Con last year, and then especially this year making the VHS covers of a Goofy movie, they have definitely redeemed themselves so many times over by making new Goofies, especially by making the white area to actually bring out the Funko Pop black eyes and making it look much better than what we have with the OG version of Goofy. The next pop I have here is for the Star Wars lineup, and it is of the Stormtrooper. Now, the Stormtrooper was actually, I'm pretty sure, pop number 2 in the Star Wars lineup, so it would have been in the very first Star Wars wave in 2011. But don't get me wrong, the outfit is pretty cool, and especially they did have the helmet right, but what makes this pop so awkward is the fact that they added Funko Pop eyes on the helmet when it should have been the regular like Stormtrooper lenses that you see on the helmet. And then we kind of seen Funko redeem themselves 6 years later with the new Stormtrooper outfit for the Force Awakens wave of pops, but it still was not exactly the same as the Stormtrooper that we're looking at here that is essentially for the original trilogy. And then Funko eventually would do a Stormtrooper, actually 2 of them, for the concept series pops in 2020, and then finally months after that pop was made, a Star Wars Celebration 2020 exclusive 10-inch Stormtrooper pop for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back was made, and it was exactly how a Stormtrooper should be done, especially with the lenses as terms to the eyes for the pop. They even added some detail as terms to the helmet, including kind of the, I want to call it the respirator in the helmet and kind of the air holes there. And they even updated the posing for it, so it's not so much of arms to the side. It is the Stormtrooper actually holding the blaster, and that's really all you need. You don't really need so much of a posing. I think that was perfectly fine. They updated the helmet more than what they had done for the original pop, and even added more detail as terms to the outfit also. And the last pop I have listed that desperately needed to be made, and I think a lot of you guys, pretty much all of you, would pretty much agree that this needed to be made, and when it finally got remade, Funko definitely redeemed themselves, and that is of Sonic the Hedgehog. When the very first Sonic the Hedgehog wave came out with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, that Sonic did not look good at all. The dark blue was a little meh. You had the white eyes, which once again looked very, like, possessed. And then the way that the paint looks on this pop makes it more not like a vinyl plastic figure, but more of like a porcelain figure, into which if I were to tip this over, you might think that it might smash into a million pieces when it hits the floor. And I might as well bring up all 3 of these Sonic the Hedgehog figures from the very first wave, because all of them don't look all that great, especially Tails, into which it also has that kind of porcelain feel to it of the way that the paint application looks, and you can't really see the tail all that much for Tails. And then Knuckles was really the only decent one, but at the same time, there definitely could be improvements made as terms to the Knuckles pop. So out comes 2017, 2018, when they remade a new wave of Sonic the Hedgehog pops, where you had a bunch of Sonics, including, I think, Super Sonic, and then you had Dr. Eggman in that wave, and then they really redeemed themselves when they made the classic Sonic pop for the 30th anniversary wave of Sonic the Hedgehog pops, where essentially he's in the running motion, and they actually have kind of like the red circles that are translucent to show that he is running, and they made the pop flocked as a Funko Shop exclusive. And once again, you can say the same thing when it came to 2021 with the Tails Funko Pop that was flocked and was a TargetCon 2021 exclusive. And then this year, which had a lot of fans really excited, is the remake of Knuckles for TargetCon 2022, and the fact that they made that pop also a flocked figure. And all 3 of these flocked Sonic the Hedgehog figures, compared compared to the OG Sonic the Hedgehog figures were just such leaps and bounds better than what they originally looked like, especially adding the white background to the black Funko Pop eyes that just make it really stand out more, like they did with the Goofy Pops mentioned earlier in this video. And especially this year, looking at a brand new Knuckles Pop, and yet I still have to own it in my collection because it hasn't yet hit up Canada, or at least in my local Toys R Us. I can't wait to obtain this Pop because I'd rather own this Knuckles Pop than owning that OG Knuckles Pop, not because of the fact that it's so expensive, but because this one looks much better in detail than the OG one does. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video on Funko Pops that desperately needed to be remade, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below if there are any Funko Pops I didn't mention that would fit the mold of this video. And like I said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.